It doesn't matter if you cannot sound like a native speaker. Okay? In MUET, what's important is for you to use proper grammar. And
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our Educast Cakna TVET PTSN. I'm Rida and normally student here in PTSN would address me as Miss Rida. Alright, so as for today, we are going to talk about Malaysian University English Test which is happening here in PTSN. We have our own PTSN MUET Center, right? Okay, so if you are Form 6 matriculation or diploma, and then you are planning to apply to public university in Malaysia, MUET is for you, and then this podcast is for you as well. Alright, okay. Before we begin our exciting journey about MUET, what happened in PTSN, and then I would like to introduce you to our panelists or speaker for today. Alright, right in front of me here, nice lady, beautiful lady here is Madam Adlina Adha binti Abdul Muain, the PTSN MUET coordinator.
hello.
Say hi, Madam.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for watching.
No problem. Alright, okay, next to her is Zeti. Zeti is one of our foundation student. Yeah, right. Say hi, Zeti. And then next to Zeti is Shaf. Okay, Shaf, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Shafika Akila and people call me Shaf.
Okay, alright. Okay, before we begin, say hello everyone. Welcome to PTSN.
Hello everyone. Welcome to PTSN.
Okay, alright. This is going to be the very basic. Alright, MUET, what is MUET actually? Okay, MUET stand for Malaysian University English Test. It is a standardized test designed to measure for your English proficiency. Alright, and then it also designed to students who are planning or heading into local higher education here in Malaysia. Meaning that after you finish your diploma, after your STPM, you're planning to study in UTM, University Technology Malaysia, UITM, University Technology Mara, UM, or any local university, you need MUET along with your result. And then also, this MUET is very important because some employers and scholarship bodies need it. If you apply for a job and then you apply for a scholarship, you need to attach together what is your MUET result. It shows your language proficiency, English of course, alright? And then again, MUET is now aligned to the CEFR. I think current students from secondary school or primary school, diploma, school leavers, you are familiar with CEFR. Because once you enter your English class, your teacher always mention about CEFR. So don't worry much because MUET is aligned with CEFR. Alright, okay? Okay, alright, Madam Eldina. Okay, as the coordinator here in PTSN, MUET, of course, and then as someone who's really experienced in language study, why do you think that MUET is very important? Okay.
I believe MUET is crucial because most Malaysian public universities require a minimum MUET band to enter specific program. The students can actually check this required band on the university's website. Some universities, they may have different requirement for MUET bands, yeah, and even at different programs, they may require a different minimum MUET band. Okay, so MUET will also show how ready you are to use English in academic or even work environments. And as you mentioned just now, MUET is also aligned with CEFR. I think people might ask, what is CEFR? CEFR is actually a common European framework of reference. It is an international standard of measuring your English proficiency. So when it is an international standard, by taking MUET, you can actually know where is the level of your English in the international level. Okay? Right. So that I think why makes MUET is so important, especially for tertiary education student.
Okay, you mentioned just now it depends on the course requirement. For example,
Yes,
maybe
true.
you are taking medicine, maybe you need 5.0 or
Yeah,
5
higher bands.
higher band, and then maybe if you are taking engineering, you may need for 3.5, at least 4.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So from the MUET itself, we can see that how ready you are, and then how and like who you are, because you begin to start learning English from the day one in the primary school, and then you went to secondary school SPM, and then this MUET is to test your level before you enter the tertiary level.
Yes, true.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Alright. We're moving on to the test format. Okay. Alright. And component. Just to share about my personal experience. I took my MUET way back in 2000, and I guess that was the second or third babies of MUET. Malaysia just been introduced to MUET, and all the school leavers, SCPM, need to sit for MUET to enter university for your degree program. Alright, so my question would be, does the component is still similar with this current MUET, which is aligned with the CEFR?
Okay. I think the purpose is still the same. Yeah. However, and the components are still the same too. There are still listening skills. You will still be tested on listening, speaking, reading, writing. These 4 skills are still in MUET. However, during your time, the weightage are a bit different.
Yeah.
With reading having the biggest portion of percentage, 40% if I'm not mistaken. But after CEFR alignment, all 4 skills now have an equal 25% weightage.
Oh, equal.
Yes, each part 25%. Okay, so there is no such thing as there is one skills that you have to focus more, because all skills are equally important now.
Okay, it's still similar.
Yeah.
And then during my time, I think speaking gave the most percentage for that MUET, as well as the writing part. Right. Again, according to my experience, I can still remember my time doing the writing, and then especially during the speaking, even though that time I was in Form 6 level, I know my student, I know my friends. But then yes, still we have that kind of butterfly in the stomach.
I think I scored the lowest in listening for my MUET.
I see.
I took MUET in 2005, if I'm not mistaken, and I scored the lowest for my listening. And surprisingly, I scored the highest for my writing. Surprising.
And then surprisingly, during my time, I was the only Malay girl scored the good band.
So take this as an inspiration.
Alright, okay. Can we talk about the component briefly?
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Specifically, madam? Right?
As I mentioned, the components are the same. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, all 4 skills. You need to sit for all 4 skills in order for you to get your MUET result. Should you miss any of the skills, you will not be getting your result. So your result is cancelled lah, tak ada. Tak ada sijil MUET yang akan dikeluarkan if you miss any of the skills. So you need to sit for all 4 papers in order for you to get your MUET result. Okay, right. So I start with listening. Okay, listening is when you have to listen to spoken text, dialogues or monologues, okay, and answer multiple choice questions. Okay, previously they have to answer short structured question, but now they only have to answer multiple choice questions. Okay, it's all about catching main ideas, details and tones of the speakers. Okay, all right. Next is speaking. Okay. Oh, this is the paper that most students are nervous about. They have the most apprehension
Yes.
for this
Focus more
paper.
on speaking.
Yes. Biasalah. I think
Because
Malay is our mother tongue.
Yeah.
English is not our first language.
it's our second language.
Yes.
So it's hard for us.
So I think
Lah kena tak kenal siapa kita punya partner.
Partner.
yes, that's the reason why the students are nervous about speaking. However, the topic in speaking is actually quite contemporary. They won't ask you about topic that is too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A simple one like friendship.
Yes. They will ask you about relatable topics.
Yeah. Surrounding you.
Yes, relatable topics, contemporary topics, topics that is age appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And according to your own experience.
And mostly localized. They won't
Yeah.
ask you about topics that happen overseas. Okay? So don't be nervous for speaking paper. Okay? It has two parts. First, an individual presentation based on a prompt. And then a group discussion where you will have to talk
In group.
talk about the topic
Yes.
with other three candidates. Okay, it's also important to know that the topic for part 1 and part 2 are related. Okay, these tests your fluency, clarity, interaction, and organization of ideas.
Yeah, also in the body language.
True.
Play role.
They will also be assessed on their communicative ability.
Since we don't know that who are the people in our group. And then it's actually testing on our small talk. Right?
True.
During the group discussion, you got to start off with the small talk and then you be in that group. And then based on the one that I've read, you cannot manipulate the group discussion. Meaning that you not be going to be the person who's going to talk a lot. You need to
Yes,
give
true.
some time to the other group members, and then you need to talk at least 2 times.
Yes.
2 times.
Okay.
You need to get the conversation, the discussion flowing. There's no one candidate who will dominate the discussion. There's no one candidate who will not talk anything.
Yes.
So that is what's a bit challenging lah for speaking.
Don't mind, later we will listen to Shaf and Zeti, their experience regarding their speaking tests before. Alright, carry on, Madam.
Okay, the third paper is reading, where the students will face multiple text types in 7 parts. The texts are usually articles, opinion pieces, reports, with questions testing comprehension, inference, and vocabulary.
Reading hates me.
Reading.
I think the students will go out, when they go out from the reading test, they'll have a throbbing headache.
Yes.
You know, having to read and then having to find an answer very quickly, and they don't have much time to do.
Yes. They have 7 article, or what do you call that? 7 parts.
7
they need to
texts.
7 texts they need
True.
to answer. Beginning with the easiest one, and then
very longer.
and the longer and the more challenging vocabularies.
They have ascending difficulties. I think the most difficult one would be part 6
six
and
and
part 7.
seven.
Yeah.
The longest text. I couldn't understand what it.
Summarize all the text.
We need to summarize the text. We need to read carefully. Read
And which
multiple
one
times.
the best answer for the questions?
Still, reading hates me.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, and lastly, we have writing. Okay, so there are 2 tasks in writing. Task 1, you'll need to write a letter or email with given notes and information. Alright, so the tone of writing is usually informal with purposes such as providing relevant information based on a given request, or describing personal experience, happenings of a past event, or giving advice, suggestions, feedback, reasons or improvements, and you have to do this minimum 100 words. Okay, and you are suggested to write this in 25 minutes. Okay.
You mentioned about the formal and informal
Yeah.
email. So students, you need to read carefully the question. It looks email, it is an email, but you got to make sure the content, whether it's formal or informal,
True.
letter, right? Okay.
In task 2, it's rather long. The writing would be minimum of 250 words,
Yeah.
but they can go beyond that. They can write how long they want, how much they want.
As long as we have got time.
Yes, as long as they got time.
And keep on the track.
Yes, keep on track of the question. Usually, the style of writing is argumentative or discursive.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll be given a topic, and they will need to provide reasons, agreement or disagreements towards the topic.
How about we write plot twist in the essay? Is it
Still acceptable?
Yeah.
A plot twist that is interesting. I've never taught my student to write any plot twist in task 2 because task 2 the essay is factual.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to
Factual,
Yeah.
and then we need to show your maturity in the writing.
True.
And writing is right. Everything is should be in that circle.
Yes.
Right? If you are try to do the plot twist,
be out of the context.
Yes.
Yes.
And then they will go like beyond of the one that be required for the question. Okay.
Great.
Because you need to give reasons. You have to
Give.
give reasonings with justifications, with evidence. You see, I think plot twist would be interesting if it's a narrative,
Yes.
a fictional kind of writing. I think that would be
If we
very
are
interesting.
Writing story.
Yes, but in task 2 in MUET, I would prefer, or I would advise my student to just stay on track.
Yes, true. Stay on track. Okay, how about the test? I mean, like the duration. How long does the test take?
MUET takes about 3 hours in total for listening, reading, and writing, all taken on the same day.
Same day.
Yeah. The speaking test, however, is done separately, usually a few days before or after the 3 other papers.
Okay, but here last time we start off with speaking,
True.
and then the following week
writing.
was the writing, reading, and listening.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, madam, about the component test. All right, so we coming back to Shaf and Zeti,
Sure.
the second child of our PTSN Wet Center. Can you share us or spill something? What was the most challenging part or component of the MUET?
So as for me myself, I think the most challenging part was listening, because somehow when we do not focus, we out of focus, we can misheard what the speaker has spoke, and the words mostly are similar. So if we misheard, then we
We
know
don't know
nothing
the
about
answer.
the meaning of those words, and you know what is when
When it comes to speaker,
the speaker has go for the next part, but I still at the previous part.
I see.
I don't get what it's mean. I don't know which one to take.
Yeah, it's only repeat twice.
Yes.
Different audio, they will have different pace.
So different accents.
Yeah,
for
and
the
different as well as that is the challenge there. Some speakers they will talk a bit slow. Some speakers they will talk
Very fast.
very fast.
If you still remember, I am the controller. Yeah. Of you.
Feel the
Yeah, I can feel the tense. Okay. Everybody is focused on the paper, and then they're not like you. It's actually you got to be super focused, right?
True. They cannot afford to be out of focus. They cannot
Yes.
afford to be distracted.
Yeah.
They just need to think.
Stay,
Yes, stay focused on what they are listening to.
And then
Tak boleh fikir benda lain.
Yes, kena dalam waktu yang sama juga. Kalau dah move tu dah macam haywire sikit.
Betul.
Okay, one is from Shaf, listening. What about you, Zeti?
For me, I'm pretty sure that everyone would say that writing is the easiest one after reading. But
Okay.
personally, I have a lot challenging on writing. Because for me, writing is not just you are write something what's on your mind. It's about you are arranging structure to tell what you are going to tell to impress the examiner. First thing first, we need to keep on track so we can get the result good lah. But then the struggling part is you need to clear your structure and solid point.
Yes.
To answer all the questions that have been given. After that, I also quite struggling with the time management, and it's also give us 1 hour and 50 minutes to complete the whole paper.
I
And
don't think 1 hour is enough
Enough.
actually.
yeah, because there is a lot on my mind that I want
especially
to
when we love
write
to write,
down.
right?
Yes. How much time you spend for both section?
I
Me-
think the
Section 1,
25
25
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then the rest is
The
for
rest is for the section 2.
section 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
that sometimes candidates tends to do the second
Second
part.
Second part first.
Yeah, I
Then
taught my
other
student that.
yeah. Because when you start to write, there's a lot, and you difficult to compile it, and you nervous how to link the words and the ideas to make it as better as you should lah.
Meaning that the elaboration should be
Yeah.
solid
Yeah.
according to the gist of the content. What do you call
The
for
technique.
the thesis statement?
The thesis
yeah.
Thesis statement, elaboration, and conclusion.
The evidence.
You need to show your agreement or disagreement.
Yeah.
Task 2 is heavier than task 1.
That's why.
So that's why in my class I ask my student, you have an option to write task 2 first,
Yeah.
because your head is still clear, you are still fresh, so you write what's the longest first. Then only you tackle task 1.
Okay. So the component are reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And then I'm pretty sure that all of you have your own preferences in completing the MUET. And then you also face some challenges in completing the MUET as well. Alright. Okay, now we're moving on to the band. Right. Okay, for my personal experience way back in 2000. Okay, and then through my teaching and reading as well lah kan. Okay, about the scoring system. Okay, my time was only from band 1 until band 6. How about now, Madam Alina?
Okay. MUET now uses a CEFR aligned scoring system. Okay, with a total score out of 360. The score is still the same as your time. Okay, but during your time, they are put in 6 bands. Now they have 9 bands altogether. Yeah. Band 1, band 2, and band 1, band 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, and the highest 5
Ada
plus.
setengah-setengah pula kan?
They are the
Dia tak ada
point.
setengah-setengah.
They are the 0.5. Okay. Alright. So these different bands is actually a staggered CEFR level.
I see.
Okay, let me explain more. Band 1, Band 2, and Band 2.5 is in the CEFR level of A1 and A2. These are considered as basic uses. Kita in PTSN, kalau boleh, we don't want our student to be in this group. Okay, this is basic uses. Basic uses for primary schools or maybe lower secondary, that would be okay. But tertiary level, we don't want our students to be in this level lah kalau boleh. Right? So next, band 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, is in CEFR level ranging from B1 and B2. So they are considered as independent users. That means they can use English adequately, appropriately. Alright. And lastly, band 5 and 5 plus, CEFR level C2 to C1. Okay, C1 to C2, they are considered as proficient user.
But madam, do we need to talk like native to get this band?
Okay, now it has very little importance on how you sound. Okay, right?
The accent?
It doesn't matter if you cannot sound like a native speaker.
Oh.
Okay, in MUET, what's important is for you to use proper grammar and generate great ideas. So your slang, it doesn't matter anymore. Kalau cakap English tapi telo Melayu,
Alamak.
tak apa.
Okay je.
Okay je.
As long as we are confident, right?
Yeah.
True. As long as you are confident, you make your point, you use good grammar, I think that is enough.
Yes. Good grammar in your writing and your
Yeah.
speaking.
Mm.
Okay,
It's quite considered.
that does matter. Okay, madam, just now you mentioned we have 9 grades. But then, which score is considered good?
Okay, that depends, right? So for general university entry, a band 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah, a band 3 or 4 is usually enough. That's why I said, kalau boleh, we don't want our students to be a basic user. Basic user is band 1 to 2.5.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever you decide to sit for MUET, we hope that you can commit yourself to get at least band 3.
Band 3.
Yeah, this is very important because you want to sit for MUET, you have to pay 150 ringgit.
150 ringgit, yes. And then if we miss one paper, we
Then
need
need
to
to
resit
Yes.
all of the papers.
That's why I always remind my student, before you want to commit to sit for MUET, make sure you can commit, you can really prepare yourself to achieve at least band 3. Okay? Right. However, if you are aiming for competitive programs such as engineering, okay, science program, aim for band 4 or 5 plus. Higher bands, the proficient user. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, always check your chosen university's MUET requirement. A different university, they may require a different MUET band. Research universities, especially USM, they may need a higher band. Okay, so always check the requirement on the website, university's website.
And if you're planning to take TESOL to
Yeah.
become an English teacher,
Yes.
of course, 5.0 and 5,
5
plus,
plus.
at least.
Without doubt.
Yes. Alright, okay, clear. Alright. It's normal for everyone, right? If you would like to sit for an exam and then would like to attend for interview, we need preparation. Even though today we come to the office, come for your examination, we need to prepare. Right. Same goes like MUET. Okay, Madam Alina, again, I would like to ask you, and then after this, Zeti and Shah, maybe you can share your tips. And then what is the best way to prepare for MUET?
But before that, let me ask you, how do you prepare for your MUET, Miss Rita?
Last time when I
Share
was,
your experience. You always share us your
okay, last time I was very, very young and vibrant. And then maybe,
You are still vibrant now.
thank you. But then, yes, as a student, we need to read. Right? I love to read Reader's Digest last time. Reader's Digest. And then there was no phone, no gadget, no at all. It's just television. And then actually mainstream like your RTM, like your TVET, it's very important. When you can listen to the news And then I still remember that time also I watched a lot of English movies. Okay, and then that particular time we don't have this MUET preparation class,
No,
courses,
we don't.
nothing. We only have our English teacher. So our English teacher is the main, the main source or the most resourceful person at that particular time. Okay.
Sumber primer.
Yeah, sumber primer. And then tu je lah kita practice. And then form 6 being maybe a few Malays in the class, and then I mix a lot with Indian and Chinese. Maybe that one also gives some advantages for me.
True.
Alright? Okay, that's my personal experience, not from my reading. Because reading hits me. Right, okay. So, madam, how to prepare for MUET?
Okay, the best way
Yes.
to prepare for MUET. I like what you said just now about mixing around
Yes.
with good environments, with Chinese, with Indians who speak the language.
Yeah, we have to.
Yes.
We can
So my personal opinion would be create an environment where you can practice your
Yeah.
English. Okay, that would be my personal opinion. Create a very good environment, a supportive environment.
Yeah, not the
In
judgmental.
in which they will not ridicule you
Yes.
when you are speaking English. They will not laugh at you. So this environment will make you thrive. You will grow together. You can listen to new words from your friends and try to use it on your own later.
Yeah.
And then in fact, that time my teacher asked us, the class, to subscribe for the Star newspaper every day. And
yeah,
being the
English.
class rep, I am the distributor for the Star newspaper. Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember. Back when.
I read the Star. Nowadays, I don't read. Really hurts me.
They still have the Star, but the Star is in their smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once they open their smartphones,
It
A lot of
yeah, there are not just the Star in there. There are other bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So that is distraction. Okay, so coming back to what is the best way to prepare for MUET, the environment. And next, if it's specifically to prepare for MUET, get familiar with the format.
Yeah.
It's like when you are going to the war, you have to know your weapon. Okay, so before you want to improve the language, before you want to improve your English, you need to know what is expected in each papers, in
Yeah.
each section.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
I heard that from Spider-Man movie.
Okay, do not be unexpected. You have to expect everything
Yeah.
in MUET. Okay, once you get to know the format, you can structure how you want to study, how you want to strategize your learning. Yeah, maybe prepare a schedule. You know your own weaknesses, so maybe you want to focus which area first. Yeah, so you need to know the format in order to strategize your study plan. Okay, next, like Miss Rida have mentioned, read.
But I hate
Yeah.
I love listening.
You guys are still young. You
Yeah.
need to read extras.
I think if we say this to our students, they will say that, oh, this is so cliche. A very cliche advice.
But actually, reading is very good.
Yeah.
One tips, if you read and then you need to learn one word
At least
per
one
day,
word.
at least one word.
Yeah.
You write
Day
it
one
down.
word.
You write it down here in your palm or here.
True.
So you still remember. You will remember what is the word that you need to practice of today. So you use it. Like Zeti, you found about ridiculous. How to use ridiculous. You talk
In
to
a
yourself.
sentence.
Yes, in a sentence. You keep practicing it because you see the words, what you have written at your hand, on your hand. Okay. And I still
Input,
believe that
output.
Yes.
It needs to be balanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
I still
input and
believe
output.
like during my days mixing around with those friends are speaking English, actually it's improving. Like nowadays, maybe I'm swamped with works and then tend to get tired. Just go back and sleep. I don't mix around.
But your language is not so bad. Don't you
Yeah.
agree?
Right. Mila, continue.
Okay. Read. After reading, it would help you in your writing.
Yes.
Kan?
Yeah.
If you are watching TV shows in English or listening to English radio, it will indirectly help you in your speaking. Okay, so that's what I said about the input and output intake. It needs to be balanced.
Yes.
Okay. Next, practice past year papers. Okay, timing is everything. Do not cramp. Do not cramp until the very last minute. Don't do it at the 11th hour. Please do not do that. Have a proper study plan. Practice on past year questions. If you ask me where to get this, go Telegram, search MUET past year paper question.
Yes.
There are a lot there.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't even have to pay for it. It's free, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. Next, use English daily.
Yeah.
Environment.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Even
Okay.
if rojak,
Even
yeah.
it's rojak.
Better find a British boyfriend.
It's difficult, madam. It's difficult.
Okay, speak it, write it, even text in English. You know, just try to incorporate it in your daily life.
Yeah.
Okay, expand your vocabulary. Okay, like Madam Wirda suggested just now, get one new word every day. Write it down and use it as many times as you can, so that you will remember.
those
Okay.
words.
And this is very important. Get feedback. Okay, from your friends, from your teachers. Maybe you will have study groups. Okay, try to get feedbacks. What do you think? What do you think? You know, so that you know, where are you when you are doing all the efforts? You want to know, where are you now?
Yes.
How am I doing now? And you need to know this, right? So get feedbacks from your teachers.
Yeah, sometimes students maybe tend to be shy, right, to get feedback. But then as the time goes by, if we keep on doing, please give feedback. Actually, it goes to your friend's mind and your heart. You akan learn by heart juga sebenarnya.
Betul.
Macam you makan, hari-hari makan sambal belacan. You dah tahu benda tu pedas. Kan, pedas. And then you rasa shock. And then you nak lagi. So that's why you need to keep on practicing using English every day. Even though you hate it, your friend hate it, but you must to add extra values in you. Okay?
I always tell my students, why you don't like English? You don't like English because you feel like you are not good in English. You are good in something else. Maybe you are good in maths. You're good in science. So you like those subjects. And you don't like English because you feel like you are not good enough. Okay, if you are not good enough and you don't have interest in it, you don't put effort to improve it, you will stuck there. You'll be stagnant.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, you'll be stagnant there. Ignorance, right?
Yes.
Because you refuse.
Stagnant
You are
is a bad-
denial.
Is a negative vibe. Stagnant.
True.
So today, what's
Kat situ je.
True. So it's a vicious cycle, right? You'll never improve unless you break it. Maybe you lower your ego a little bit. Okay lah, I'm not so good in English. I'm not so good in English. Okay lah, let's learn lah, kan? Or maybe have a realization that, alamak, I want to work in a multinational companies. I have to be good in English.
Most of the companies now need someone who
Yes.
can speak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They prefer to.
Even if you have high CGPA, but if you are
If
unable
to
to
speak in English,
Ah.
then
You can't.
that's not.
you are not going to be preferred, right?
Yeah.
For your future employees. Yeah. So you ask yourself, have a purpose of learning English. I think that will help you lah.
Yeah, clear. Betul. Alright. Sedih pula. Bukan sedih, macam terfikir betul-betul. Because last time we were young like you guys. And then we are not the device era. We need to go to library and then finish our assignment, and then of course TESOL student, we are really relate to English books, article, journals and so on. But nowadays actually if you go to your FYP for TikTok, for IG,
There's a lot of
a lot of, if you only focus on English improvement, website or apa tadi tu lah, account, you will akan selalu
your FYP will
be the same, pop up like the same
Countless,
thing.
countless resources.
Kalau macam kalau you suka, macam I kan, I memang suka yang masak. Then at the same time I pun follow Graham Norton. Then I follow Sir Asai yang macam-macam tu. Actually I macam improving jugalah. Before nak tidur ke nak apa tengok tu macam okay, masuk sikit lah dalam kepala.
Betul.
Right. Okay, so
You
that's
are what you eat.
okay, alright, Madam Shaf anxiety. So that's the best way to prepare for MUET. It's in you lah, you yourself. But then how does to prepare to MUET formally? For example, if I go to bookstore or online, what can I do?
Okay. Let's listen. The students, what are the resources that you mainly use nowadays?
For nowadays, I think that Google is the main source, because whenever I want the note, and they give the simplest one, which is bubble map, how to use the linker words.
I see.
So I practice it with my group for MUET, and they used to it. They want to know, okay, this one we should use firstly, and the second one, nevertheless, although. That's how we connected the sentences, so that it will become longer.
What was again?
Google?
Google. Yeah, just
GPT,
yeah. The simplest one.
Okay. Online tool.
Okay. But as for me, I think since PTSN provided a prep MUET class,
Yeah. It's really helps.
Alhamdulillah. Congrats, Miss Rida.
the exercise given and the practice that the teachers ask us to do during prep class is really helpful.
Who's the teacher before? So Fauzi and Sebok. Bobby.
And so Fauzi teach me to show your maturity on
in
writing.
They do help us a lot during MUET prep class. If you're attending the class,
Yeah.
you
You will
get
be.
like lot of information.
Okay.
Itu Miss Rida mengamuk tak?
Miss Rida is taking note. Prep class is important.
Very good class actually. The reading, writing, speaking and listening from Sir Bobby from Polytechnic Merlimau Melaka, and then Sir Fauzi from Sekolah Menengah
Datuk Sri Amali
Datuk Sri
Raja.
Amai Raja. Very good teacher.
Yeah.
Alright.
Very experienced. seasoned
Experienced
teachers.
MUET teacher.
Examiners.
Examiners to be exact.
Mm.
Alright. Okay. Alright. So that's all. I mean, like, is that all about the preparation?
I like to add about the resources just now. Okay, it depends on your preference. It depends on what you are comfortable with. Some students are comfortable using online tools to learn. Some students they need help from prep class. Okay. However, I like to add something that is very important that will help the students, that would give value to their study plan if they wish to sit for MUET. That is the official MUET handbook from MPM website. Yes, they do have it. You have to download it. You have to click every cursor in the MPM website. They have this one handbook that would help the candidates. It tells you about the format, about sample of past year question.
We just need to go to the website and search it.
Yes, you can download it. It's free.
It's free.
Most importantly, free of charge.
Yes,
Of
most
course.
importantly, it's free. So this handbook will help you understand the format, like I've mentioned just now.
Yeah.
Okay, so please do download it from MPM website and baca, hadamkan supaya 150 yang dibayar tu
Yeah,
worth. Kan?
Kalau tak rasa macam sia-sia je kan. Kalau kita
Yeah.
bayar but
We got
Tak
the
dapat free
below
and
band.
above. Kan? Above
Betul.
band.
We can help the students with prep class and everything. But
The rest is yours.
true.
your effort.
The
You
rest is your effort. Betul. Sebelum masuk kelas tu dah faham format sebenarnya lebih
cukup
bagus.
Yes.
Lebih bagus. Okay. Alright. Next, there are also YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
YouTube tutorials by MUET teachers. There are so many. You can just pick one teachers that vibe
I'm
with
very
you.
lucky.
Yeah.
I don't have
Right.
to mention again about my personal experience.
Kejap lagi boleh. Okay. And you can also go for English improvement websites such as BBC
Yes.
Learning English or British Council.
Yes.
They offer free courses there, free exercises, free practices. You can go to this website.
I wish I knew this earlier.
Oh dear.
Very bad.
But
Your
never
lecturer?
mind. I have misread.
Actually, if you scroll to the British Council IG or Facebook, they always offer you a free course but at night. It's because following their time,
Yeah.
different time, right? But then I several times I've joined, and then you can meet several people globally. And then over there you can actually chat with them. And then-
This will help build confidence,
Yes,
right?
your confidence. Okay. And then from there you will know your level. You can say, oh, I'm better than you actually. Alright, okay. So we have talked about what is MUET, why MUET is so important, and then what is a component. And then like now, because PTSN it become one of the MUET center here in EduHub. Actually PTSN and UTHM.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so Madam Alina here in PTSN, how can the candidate would like able to register?
Okay.
What is the format?
So if you have decided to sit for MUET in PTSN, right? PTSN will handle the group registration for you. There is a registration form that you'll need to fill up, and after that, there is a duration of time where you have to make the exam fee payment. Okay, and there's also certain details that you will need to check after they make the payment. Okay, so all of this registration information will be shared in MUET PTSN official Telegram channel. Let me repeat, all of this information about MUET registration will be shared in MUET PTSN
So join.
official Telegram channel. Okay. And also MUET, sorry. And also PTSN official website.
Yes.
Okay. So you have to be alert about the registration
date
period.
period.
Okay. All right. Check the calendar in MPM website. When is session 1? When is session 2? When is session 3? Okay. And then if you want to join to sit for exam in PTSN, please note that for now, PTSN will only open for the registration for session 1 only. Let me repeat, PTSN will only open for registration for session 1 only, as for now.
As for now.
Okay.
Don't miss out.
Okay, so many students or maybe other lecturers are also wondering why open only one session only. Let me answer that. First, usually we cannot afford to open every session. The management is quite overwhelming.
Yes.
Okay. If we wish to open for other session, we have to make sure that it will not be redundant with PTSN examination. So there is a lot to consider. So that is why for now we only open for session 1 every year in PTSN.
Yes. Only session 1 at the beginning of the January. Right?
However, if they want to sit for session 2 because the timing is not right, so other students, I have to sit for session 2, I have to sit for session 3, they can still register as a private candidate.
Yes.
Okay, calon persendirian. Okay, you just head on muet.mpm.edu.my. You can register and you can register there and pay online. No need to buy pin and BSN anymore. No need.
When it comes to private candidate, meaning that the center, the exam center is not in PTSN. It's somewhere else.
Yeah, but
Please choose the best place, like maybe near to your house, and then any place, any center that accessible is easy for you to access. Alright, but not in PTSN. For session 2 and session 3, we only open for session 1 only. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Alright. Sekarang kita cakap Melayu lah
Sure.
Sebab ni kadang-kadang orang fikir alah MUET tu kacang je. It's a misconception about MUET.
betul.
Alright, ada yang kata alah MUET tu senang, tak macam SPM. Ada yang kata macam apa ni, kalau dekat dalam ni dia cakap only top student can do well. Only those born in Wales, UK can do well for MUET. Ada orang cakap macam tu. So what's your takes, Madam Alina?
Well, before that, you have to know that I am a Malay.
Yeah.
I was born a Malay. I was born and raised in a family full of Malays.
Same here. I'm Javanese in fact.
Yeah,
Our first language is definitely not English. It's still Malay, bahasa Melayu. But it's the matter of how you want to improve yourself. Okay? How you want to improve yourself. Like I said, if you keep on telling the students improve your English, without giving them the purpose, without giving them
guidelines.
the path, why?
Oh yeah.
Why do we need to improve our English? I think dia dalam bahasa Melayu, dalam peribahasa Melayu ni, dia akan jadi ibarat mencurah air ke daun keladi. Kan, kalau kita cakap dengan dia improve your English without telling them why they need to improve their English. Okay. Kalau dekat sekolah, kita boleh cakap dengan student ni kenapa pentingnya English ni. But for tertiary level students, I will tell them you have to find your own purpose.
Yes.
Apa dia tujuan hidup you? What is your dream? What kind of company you want to work for? Kan? How high you want to go in your career path? Kan? What is your career objective? The higher or the bigger you dream, of course, there will be sacrifices, kan?
Yes.
Miss Rida. So, and English may be a part of it. It could be a part of it, right? So, no, MUET is not SPM English. It's even more than that.
Yes.
No, MUET is not for top students only. It's for everybody who makes the effort. No, MUET is not for people with British accent.
Yeah.
Those with Malay accent can also sit for MUET. No
Yeah.
problem. You don't have to speak like a queen. No, right? It's all about one word, effort.
How about you guys? What are the misconceptions you heard among students of MUET?
I think that at first I thought that MUET is something that you need to memorize fancy word using bombastic vocabulary to look
You are a good speaker.
impressive. But then no, it's about how you communicate with people to give their something that you need, you want to tell them, and then they understand what you are going to say. And other than that, I think that MUET is something that enhance your skill on talking and your body language. Moreover, it's only takes a little effort because everyone can speak. Just speak. Don't have
Effort in
to
the sense of how do you effort in terms of how do you answer those questions in MUET.
Betul.
Yeah.
Right?
It's only once. Make it once. And make it worthy.
Okay, how about you, Shaf?
Actually, all my Asasi friends, they thought MUET is very tough, super tough. Tougher than SPM punya.
Level.
But actually, with the all class, I mean, provided the class that provided, and if we join the class, English class, we also have English class, right?
Yes.
Then if we attend the class, we put our effort. It's not as tough as it seems. We can definitely go through it.
Yeah, just follow the flow.
Follow the flow. Don't be so scared about MUET.
Like I always mention to my student, language is only a tool. And then for me, just like once you taking MUET, it's actually you are leveling up yourself.
Betul.
Yeah,
Because you
exactly.
know how proficient you are.
Yes.
Because since the day one you in primary and then you manage to pass your SPM and then now it's MUET time. See how mature you are with the language. How does the language live in you for how many years? Alright? Okay. I think we are heading to end
Discussion.
end of the discussion.
Can
Right.
we add more questions?
Maybe
Longer?
2.0. Cakna TVET 2.0. And maybe not with you.
This is actually our last day here.
Yeah.
Bye.
But if they have one or two question, Miss Rida can answer, no problem.
Yeah. Get ready, Miss Rita.
No more answer. Now we are focusing on inspirational or motivational words or thoughts. Okay? Alright. Okay. Madam Alina, before we stop, do you have any words of inspiration or motivation or advice to the MUET candidate out there?
Okay. Don't stress. Yeah, don't stress too much. Just because it's English, it's something that you don't know, something that you are unfamiliar with, not interested in. Don't stress. It's just a step. There are so many other steps that you need to go through. So MUET is just one step in your journey.
It's just a beginner, starter.
Yeah. So if I can give my advice in MUET, just focus on the 3 C's. The 3 C's, that is be clear, be confident, communicate.
Oh, yeah, communicate.
Be clear,
Okay.
confident and
Be
communicate.
clear,
Okay?
be confident, and communicate. The 3 C's in MUET. Okay, so if you remember this, I think you'll be alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, thank you, madam. How about you, Zeti and Shaf?
I think my advice is don't panic, don't be so stressed, don't feel so scared, because we actually anggap benda ni macam benda biasa je. Kita anggap macam we practice English just like we talk with our friends. Rojak pun rojak campur lah.
Campur je,
Campur je. Mungkin sekarang rojak, tapi day after day of practicing, we can be fluent maybe.
Redah je.
Just enjoy, have fun, and don't be so stressed thinking about MUET.
Betul.
And then for me, if you can't find circle that talking in English, you create the
You create
circle.
one.
Because as for my MUET, previous MUET, this one, my housemate and I try to talk in English just for preparing MUET. So we are telling joke, telling story in
Yes.
English. And fun fact, they are not judging. We are learned. You correct my grammar, I correct your grammar, and we are using the new vocabulary. And right now, the most important thing is when the speaking test, I found it, I'm more confident to talk in English. Even though I look at straight at examiner's face.
I see. Okay.
So I hope it worth it.
Right.
It may help you guys.
Okay, interesting. I think that's all for our session.
Yeah.
I really hope that you guys out there got something from our session from the very beginning. Why does MUET is important and what are the components, and then how to register in PTSN MUET. And then remember, PTSN MUET Center only handle the first session. First session of MUET.
Don't miss
There will
out.
be always 3 sessions, but we only can manage the first session. Okay, so thank you to Madam Adlina,
Thank you so much, Miss Wirda.
and then Mishaf, and then the rest of the crew here. We cannot show, but we know here. So I think that's all. Thank you for tuning in to Educast Cakna TVET PTSN. And if this helped you, share it with your classmates or your friends.
Yeah.
Okay? And for those who are going to sit for MUET, all the best. You got this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
until
crush
next
it.
time.
Don't
Bye.
forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Alright,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.